back to Tutoratti. I hope you enjoyed our last video regarding male reproductive system. Yes. Okay kids, in today's video we are going to learn about female reproductive system. Yes, what are the parts of female reproductive system? कहाँ पे यहाँ female germ cells बनते हैं? What are the hormones being released? Let us start with the today's topic kids. Female reproductive system. The female germ cells or egg cells, they are made in ovaries. Males में हमने पढ़ा था, they are made into testes. Yes. In female kids, the germ cells are made into ovaries, and they are also responsible for production of some hormones. There are set of changes that occurs in a girl's body during puberty. Yes, और मैम ने आपको ये भी बताया था that these changes are because of the hormones being released. तो बच्चे ये जो hormones है ना, ये भी यहीं से release होते हैं. Yes, when a girl is born, वो small girl की ovary में, वो जो बच्ची born होती है kids, the ovary already contains thousands of immature eggs. Understand this, immature eggs. Now what happens to this immature eggs? बच्चा, when the girl hits puberty, जैसे वो puberty stage में आती है, on reaching puberty, some of these start maturing. एक एक करके बच्चा वो mature होने लगते हैं. One egg is produced every month. Understand this. Ovaries होते हैं, yes, उसमें egg cells या germ cells होते हैं. हर महीने kids, every month one egg is produced by one ovary. या तो ये ovary या तो ये ovary. As you can rightly see, one egg is produced every month by one of the ovaries. Yes, something like this. What happens next kids? The egg is carried from the ovary. The egg is carried from the ovary to the womb. Now womb is nothing but the uterus. यहाँ पे जो आप देख रहे हो kids, this is your womb. Ovary यहाँ से egg release करता है और धीरे धीरे this egg is travel to the uterus with the help of fallopian tube. ये one by one ना हम names of the female reproductive system कर रहे हैं. We did ovary, we did uterus, and these tube-like structure, they are called as fallopian tube kids. As you can rightly see, I'm going to show it you one more time. Ovaries ने egg release किया, fallopian tube से pass हुआ और फिर ये egg यहाँ पे uterus में आता है kid. It comes to the uterus. The two oviduct unite into a elastic bag-like structure which is called as uterus. As you can see, the structure is something like this. Yes, ये ऐसे oviduct है and it unites in a bag-like structure known as uterus. Uterus opens into vagina through the cervix. So this is the opening. यहाँ पे vagina है और through cervix. So this is how. These are the labelings of your female reproductive system. हमको 2 marks के लिए system आता है for diagram. So you have ovary, the place where your germ cells are produced. Oviduct जिससे वो travel करेंगे. Uterus जहाँ पे आपका germ cell आता है kids. And then you have cervix and the vagina. The sperms are going to enter through the vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. Yes, in male reproductive system हमने पढ़ा था that they are going to reach to the site of fertilization. And मैम ने आपको ये भी बताया था that site of fertilization is going to be in the female's body. So sperms enters through the vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. That is the act of reproduction. They travel upwards and thus reach the oviduct. They are going to, as you can see, the sperms are going to travel upwards. They are going to reach the oviduct where they may encounter the egg. अगर egg release हुआ है kids, so they may encounter the egg. Whenever, remember this, whenever a male gamete fuses with a female gamete, zygote बनता है. This is nothing but fertilization kids. Yes, so now you can see they have written fertilized egg. पहले तो सिर्फ हम egg बोलते थे, अभी ये fertilized क्या हुआ kids? जब male gamete comes in fusion with the female gamete, तब मैं बोलती हूँ कि fertilization has happened. The fusion and union has happened kids. So now the fusion has happened, the egg is fertilized. और zygote बनता है. What happens to the zygote? The zygote gets implanted. Implanted को ऐसे fix करके जैसे समझो. Just see. ये बन गया है, fertilized हो गया है बच्चा. धीरे 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 the zygote is going to get implanted. Implanted is nothing but attached people. Gets implanted into the lining of uterus and thus starts dividing. Dividing, अभी लाइफ लॉन्ग तो ऐसा zygote तो नहीं रहेगा, राइट? सेल्स और टिश्यूज वगैरह डिवाइड होंगे. यस, तो वही होता है. They get implanted. I told you they get attached. The attachment of the fertilized egg or zygote to the wall of the womb and thus making the start of pregnancy. And I told you they start dividing for differentiation and for into various types of tissues. Now kids, after the implantation is done, let's talk about the development of that implanted cell and what happens next, that is about childbirth. We have already studied that, or we know that the mother's body is designed in such a way that it can undertake the development of the child. As you know that in humans 9 months का होता है pregnancy, मतलब 9 months लगते हैं zygote से लेके एक proper child और baby develop होने के लिए, and a female's body is going to be designed for that. Hence, the uterus prepares itself every month to receive and nurture the growing embryo. The growing embryo, बच्चा, of course it is going to require rich supply of blood, the nutrients. तो उसके लिए uterus जो है हर महीना अपने आप को prepare करता है. How does it prepare itself? The lining thickens and it is richly supplied. Lots of formation of new capillaries takes place, बच्चा. Richly supplied with blood to nourish the growing embryo. The embryo gets its nutrition from the mother's blood, of course, with the help of a special type of tissue. Now this is a new word that we learn, placenta. As you can see, एक thick tissue जैसा form होता है बच्चे, it is called as placenta. Disc shape like होता है, just see. This is a disc which is embedded. Embedded is nothing but fit into the uterine wall. Uterus की wall पे ऐसे fixed होता है और वहाँ से nutrition provide होता है to the growing baby. Placenta contains villi. Villi are nothing but blood capillaries on the embryo side of the tissue. I told you, finger-like projections, lots of blood capillaries on the embryo side of the tissue. On the mother sides are the blood spaces which surround the villi. This provides the larger surface area for glucose and oxygen to pass from the mother side to the embryo. So glucose and oxygen जो ज़रूरत की चीज़ें हैं which is necessary for the development are going to pass from the mother side to the embryo. So just see, this is the baby side, this is the mother side. But जो काम की चीज़ें, glucose and oxygen is going to pass through the fetus or the baby. Now the baby is also going to produce some amount of waste substances. The developing embryo will also generate waste substances which needs to be removed. Yes, तो बच्चा waste substance like carbon dioxide, just see, from the fetus it is going to the mother's side. Yes, they are removed by transferring into the mother's blood. Again this happens through the placenta. So placenta is a very important tissue which is necessary during the development of embryo. The development of the child inside the mother's body takes approximately 9 months. This is something that we already aware of. Pregnancy जो होती है 9 months की होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि उतना टाइम लगता है चाइल्ड को डेवलप होने के लिए. 9 months का टाइम होता है. Once the 9 months are done, people, the child is going to be born, of course. How? Through rhythmic contraction of the muscles of the uterus. Uterus के muscles contract होते हैं, as you can rightly see. They are going to contract and thus the child is going to be born. So this is the beautiful journey of child development. So far we have learned what happens अगर egg fertilized हुआ तो. Yes, मैम ने आपको बताया अगर union of male and female gamete होता है, egg is going to fertilize, implantation development, yes. But kids, now we are going to talk about what happens when the egg is not fertilized. Sperm आया नहीं है kids, there is no union, there is no fusion. So let's see what happens then. If the egg is not fertilized, it is going to live for about 1 day. Yes, अगर fertilization नहीं हुआ है तो जो egg release हुआ है हमारे ovary से, do we remember? Yes, it is going to live for about 1 day. Since the ovary releases 1 egg every month, the uterus is also preparing itself every month to receive a fertilized egg. Now understand this, आपके घर पे गेस्ट आ रहे हैं तो आने की प्रिपरेशन तो हम करके रखते हैं. यस, यहाँ पे भी थोड़ा कुछ वैसा ही है किड्स. यूटरस हर महीना अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करता है. रिमेंबर हमने बताया था मैम, हाउ डज इट प्रिपेयर इटसेल्फ? इनर लाइनिंग ऑफ द यूटरस बहुत ही थिकन होती है. So every month uterus prepares itself to receive the fertilized egg. But now we are talking about the scenario where egg is not fertilized. तब क्या होगा kids? When the egg is not fertilized, हमने जो thick and spongy lining बनाया है, what to do about that people? अभी कोई fertilized egg नहीं है, zygote नहीं है, तो ये लाइनिंग का भी काम नहीं है kids. The thick and the spongy lining that the uterus had made, that is not necessary. It would have been required for nourishing the embryo if the fertilization had taken place. But since there is no such thing, now however this lining is no longer needed. So what is going to happen kids? So this lining is going to slowly break and it is going to come out through the vagina as blood and mucus. Understand this kids, ये लाइनिंग की ज़रूरत कब थी? अगर कोई फर्टिलाइज्ड एग था तो नरिशमेंट के लिए ज़रूरी थी. यस, पर अभी फर्टिलाइज्ड एग है ही नहीं तो लाइनिंग की ज़रूरत नहीं है. This lining is going to break and slowly it is going to come out through the vagina as blood and as mucus. This cycle बच्चा हर महीना यही होता है. This cycle roughly takes place every month and this is known as menstruation. It is actually a cyclic process happening in the female reproductive body. This is known as menstruation. It lasts for about 2 to 8 days. It is going to usually last for about 2 to 8 days. Now kids, yet another important topic of this chapter, that is reproductive health. Usually हम health के बारे में ऐसे physical fitness या mental fitness, yes true, but reproductive health is also going to be equally important. Kids, understand this, since the sexual act or act of reproduction is intimate connection of the bodies, it is close contact between the bodies, it is not surprising that many diseases can also be transmitted sexually. The disease which are spread by infected person, बच्चा एक infected person एक healthy person को disease spread कर रहा है with sexual contact. The disease which are spread by sexual contact with an infected person, such disease are called as sexually transmitted diseases. Gonorrhea जो है, सिफिलिस जो है बच्चा, these are the examples. बैक्टीरिया के वजह से ये होते हैं. Gonorrhea and syphilis are bacterial infections. AIDS है और warts है बच्चा, these are happening due to a virus. इसके लिए उनको viral बोला जाता है. The disease which are spread by sexual contact with an infected person to a healthy person are sexually transmitted disease. Bacterial भी होते हैं and viral भी होते हैं. So the question being asked is it possible to prevent the transmission of such disease during the sexual act? The answer is yes kids. How? Using a covering which is called as condom for the penis during sex helps to prevent the transmission of many of these infections to some extent. So now we are going to learn about the various methods through which we can prevent pregnancy also and also prevent spreading of sexually transmitted disease. Kids, now we are going to talk about what is the need for contraception. मतलब क्यों ज़रूरी है pregnancy को prevent करना, contraceptive methods use करना. So we are going to learn about that reason. I am going to tell you about the different methods of contraception, reproductive health, and also about the healthy society. The sexual act always has the potential of leading to pregnancy when a reunion of male gamete happens with a female gamete, fertilization, zygote, baby. Yes, we know how it happens, right? So that always has the potential of leading to pregnancy. अब बच्चा, pregnancy कोई छोटी मोटी बात तो है नहीं. It takes major demands on the body and mind of the women. The woman is going to undergo weakness, there is going to be nausea, there is going to be stress, there is going to be fatigue. Yes, and if this is not a planned pregnancy, if she was not ready for this, then not to forget her health will be adversely affected, physically also and mentally also. Therefore, there have been many ways which are devised or designed to avoid pregnancy. Now we are going to talk about such ways, bacha. These methods or the ways are called as contraceptive methods or methods of birth control. क्यों ज़रूरी है ये हमने just discuss किया. क्या है ये methods? That we are going to see one by one. These contraceptive methods have numbers of categories based upon their approaches. बहुत सारे categories में divided है. The one category is creation of a barrier, mechanical barrier, so that sperms जो है egg तक पहुँचे ही नहीं. ऐसे method को हम barrier method बोलते हैं. Yes, it is a category where the sperms will not be able to reach the egg. So we are now learning about the first category, that is the barrier method, kids. Condoms fall into this categories. Yes, condoms जो हमने पढ़ा था STD से भी prevent करते हैं, sexually transmitted disease से भी prevent करते हैं. You have condoms, and kids, you also have diaphragms. They are going to prevent the entry of sperms. Difference being them, condom is used in males and diaphragm is used in the female reproductive body. So this is a barrier that you create. So barrier method. Another category of contraceptive act is by changing the hormonal balance of the body so that the egg are not released. अगर egg release होगा ही नहीं तो fertilization cannot occur. This method is called as chemical method. So आपका next category आता है chemical category, kids. इसमें आते हैं हमारे oral pills जिसको हम birth control pills भी बोलते हैं. Please understand this, these pills are to be taken by female only. Male से इनको लेके कुछ फायदा नहीं है. These drugs commonly need to be taken orally by female as a pill. They change the hormonal balance जिससे egg release नहीं होता है, kids. Now kids, one thing you need to remember that since they change the hormonal balance, they can cause side effects too. Other contraceptive devices are called as IUCD. IUCD, intrauterine contraceptive device. Let's break this. Intra is inside, uterine is for uterus. Contraceptive device is birth control device, बच्चा. Copper T है और फिर the loop. These are kept inside the uterus and they are going to kill the sperms which come on the way. So intrauterine contraceptive device. Again kids, they cause side effect. क्यों? क्योंकि आप actually एक foreign body रख रहे हो uterus में. It causes side effect due to irritation of the uterus. So proper consult with the doctor and gynecologist is necessary for IUCD. Another approach to contraception is avoid fertilization. How? By blocking the paths of male and female gametes. I'll tell you what it is. Such methods are called as surgical method, kids. Male में याद है मैम ने आपको पढ़ाया था vas deferens होता है, the one which is going to carry sperms. Yes, तो बच्चा the procedure is called as vasectomy. Vas deferens अगर आप देखोगे, small portion of the vas deferens is being cut. Removal of the small portion आप cut कर देते हो जिससे sperms जो है पहुँचते ही नहीं है. So this is in male, vasectomy. Vas deferens से vasectomy ऐसे याद रखना है. If vas deferens in male is blocked, sperm transfer will be prevented and thus fertilization will not take place. So this is in male. In female kids, it is called as tubectomy. Fallopian tube? Yes. So tubectomy. What happens over here, kids? A small portion of fallopian tube or oviduct is removed. Again you can see removal of small portion of fallopian tube and oviduct. इससे क्या होगा kids? If fallopian tube in female is blocked, egg will not be able to reach the uterus and thus the fertilization will not take place. So you have barrier method, chemical method, others which is IUCAD, and you have surgical. Kids, surgical में याद रखना है, while surgical methods are safe in the long run, it can also cause infection and other problems if they are not performed properly. Surgery can also be used for removal of unwanted pregnancy. Yes kids, surgeries can also be used. अगर unwanted pregnancy है तो उसके लिए surgeries use कर सकते हैं, पर बहुत लोग ये चीज़ का misuse करते हैं. Such surgeries may be misused by people who do not want a particular child. जिसको अगर sex determine करवाते हैं kids and they come to know that there is a girl child in the fetus, तो they are going to remove it by surgery. आप सबने big hospitals या gynecological clinics में पढ़ा रहेगा. There is a board written that sex determination is illegal, kids. Illegal, and it is a punishable offense. For a healthy society, male and a female sex ratio must be maintained. Because of the reckless female feticides, girl child को मार रहे हैं mercilessly, recklessly, child ratio or child sex ratio is declining at an alarming rate. So prenatal is delivery के पहले sex determination करवाना is prohibited, punishment है people. Prenatal sex determination has been prohibited by law. And also human population needs to be controlled. So in this interesting video, female reproductive के बारे में पढ़ा, reproductive health के बारे में पढ़ा, contraceptive methods, and also about how to control human population. Kids, I hope you enjoyed our videos. Please like and subscribe to this video and our channel Tutoratti. Stay tuned for our next upcoming interesting videos. Thank you kids.